On this week's episode, we're going to talk about fantasy films from the future past and the past future, and whether or not fantasy has any place coming up here in the end of 2018 or in the future. Coming up next!
He who pops the cap, he shall be king.
Shall be king.
One of them.
It's War Pig. I'm JDV.
Hey guys.
Two fat drunks.
Great show. Great show.
So this is probably about 10 days after Reanimated went live. Go see Reanimated.
Please,
zombie thing.
check it out.
And then if you want to see the next two episodes, give us $5 and we'll let you see that. And you can order,
Put it right in the mail.
shirts. And I think they can watch it right on the TV if they.
No. It's only available through VHS tape through the mail.
If you want a VHS tape, go to our website, evilgeniusentertainment.com. Over and here in Michigan, where we shoot the show, it's just fantastically beautiful. It's one of the best years I can remember.
Emerald jewel.
Yeah,
of the entire country.
It's like living in Mordor or Endor. So it's someplace that ends in Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
We live in Dumbledore. It's just a beautiful time of year.
It is beautiful.
I walked through the woods today, and I just thought, wow, if I saw an orc cresting that hill, it would probably not surprise me very much.
He quickly pulled out his bow.
And so we're giant fans of fantasy films here. The only reason I've never made a fantasy film is because they are exorbitantly expensive.
They seem like they'd be pricey. There's a lot to it.
Fantastically expensive. So I'm a big fan of any sci-fi or sci-fi too, but a fantasy film, which is even harder to pull off.
Like swords.
Sci-fi could be almost anything. It could be it's Mad Max.
Yeah, they did Primer.
Just
like really super cerebral
fantasy.
sci-fi.
No, everyone has to wear leather. You got to have horses. You got
need costumes, locations, special effects, English actors. You need
right, which is why there are very few low budget,
really good fantasy movies.
Yeah. So I was thinking about at least the two that popped in my mind immediately are from the 80s: Sword and the Sorcerer.
The same two with Lee Horsley
and
Hawk the Slayer with John Terry. Yep,
those are two amazingly fun films that still hold up. Certainly for kids, they hold up. Absolutely.
Yeah. And just, and a shockingly good repertoire of actors in these films.
Very good actors, now.
I mean, they're not...
Good music, too.
Yeah,
the scores of both films are very
really good. I mean, they're very... Right, adventure.
But the score from Hawk the Slayer is just...
And that was just like a movie they did that year.
Because
ITC
it's maybe they thought. I mean, we were talking about besides Game of Thrones,
right?
What other fantasy has come out since the end of Lord of the Rings? The Hobbit,
which is a little.
I mean, the Hobbit.
I don't count the Hobbit because it's still Lord of the Rings. Like,
right?
You still went there. Like they tried a couple things, but they just didn't work out.
Like if you remove the works of Peter Jackson,
the collected works of Peter Jackson,
you got Game of Thrones. Right? What else is there? At least from that's made in...
You really can't count Vikings because that's like... It's more historical.
There's a thing... I think there's a thing on AMC...
Not a good show.
Set in the future that's very fantasy-based. I'm forgetting the name. Like Wastelands or something.
Oh, was that the one where was it martial arts? And they were like, That's what's on.
I think it is, maybe.
Really?
It's just very
surprise
expensive.
to me, but it is expensive.
But it wasn't a pure fantasy film. I mean, it's not...
No, it was Mad Max meets Kung Fu, basically. With
so
Mortal Kombat thrown in.
I mean, the two movies that we talked about, Hawk the Slayer
Hawk, came out maybe a couple years apart, about maybe 4 years tops, because I think Hawk the Slayer is, 1980? Pretty sure it's 80. And then Sword and Sorcerer is 82.
All the fantasy films in the 80s that there were, and there were a bunch, were a response to Star Wars. Well, we can't afford ILM, but we do have some horses and leather.
Right.
That's why a lot of them are English made.
And but don't forget the Beastmaster, which actually had a series. Mark Singer was the Beastmaster with John Amos in the first one as like a monk.
I guess Don Coscarelli that is an independent film.
His movie?
Yeah, same guy.
That's
Phantasm. Yeah, man.
Wow, I just watched Phantasm the other day.
Yeah, the same guy who did Phantasm directed Beastmaster. I think that's.
I'm embarrassed I didn't know that.
I was going to say, I thought that was a studio movie, but no, I just think he was such a good director, he made it look like a studio movie.
Actually got Mark Singer something, because Mark Singer was not famous before that, because he didn't do V until after Sword the Sorcerer.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, no, I beg your pardon. Beastmaster, which was a very popular film for that year. Tanya Roberts is in it.
Now that probably has more of a budget than either Sword and Sorcerer or Hawk Slayer.
Oh, yeah, definitely Hawk
Slayer has a very low budget.
It looks like a BBC production,
right?
Because it uses the BBC style to do it. But you know who's in fucking Hawk the Slayer? Magenta from Rocky Horror. She's the witch. Patricia Quinn. Yeah, she's the rich. The rich. She's the rich.
That's right.
No, she's the witch. Yeah, that's why you don't know it's her, because she's got a thing over her face the whole time, and she just, you know.
So Hawk the Slayer is kind of your standard good versus evil. It's got Jack Palance as the villain. John Terry
Can't
from
believe I didn't mention that.
Full Metal Jacket is the good guy in that. Really good special effects considering the budget.
Just an excellent Bernard Bresslaw as the one arm. Was he the giant? Yeah, and then the dwarven guy, whose name eludes me, English comedian, because English.
Yeah, the guy, the one arm man. He's been in a million films since, all the way up through the Star Trek. He's the guy in the Vulcan Council.
He's in fucking Wild at Heart, the David Lynch movie.
Yeah, he's in a bunch.
He's
of
the guy in New Orleans with the coins. Anyway, yeah.
So
you don't know.
It's got a very good cast. The same thing with Sword and Sorcerer. A bunch of good, very solid,
pretty good actors. Yeah, they went
good special effects. The guy who played Bull Shannon on
Richard Mall.
Richard Mall is great as the wizard in that movie. The horse is great.
Big tall villain. Yeah.
A lot of people went on to have TVs.
Was that the way he could shoot the sword? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could and it was like a gimmick. Remember, like Krull.
Yeah, I see.
Krull was terrible, but it had the gimmick. It was the gimmick, like, I could throw the mighty glaive.
Oh, the Beastmaster could see,
that's a gimmick because he could talk to animals,
right?
Gimmick.
And Hawk the Slayer, he had the Mind Sword.
That's right.
So they all have gimmicks. That's a good point. Yeah. But
what's kind of fun?
Are there any modern fantasy films at all that are low budget?
Major ones?
I
can't really. Somebody's probably going to go to Netflix and go, "Oh, there's 50 right here, bro." Okay,
yeah.
I don't think so. But B, it's like, yeah, but okay. I'm talking about legit.
One that is at least a Terminator when it came out style hit, an independent film
like that. Nope.
that actually makes waves and becomes something.
Oh no, that genre right now is kind of dead.
Yeah, even when it's a studio thing. It's still okay. They might have made it, but it sucked, and no one saw it. Okay,
Game of Thrones is a soap. I mean, that's why it's doing what it's doing. It's a soap, dude. Yeah.
Is it even still on?
Yeah, it's fucking.
Has it got one season left? Is that what it is?
So bad. They're just playing out the side, dude. It sucks.
So it's a genre that fascinates me.
I love fantasy.
But is it possible? I mean, can you do it at all?
I tell you what, if you could do it anywhere, you could do it in Michigan.
You could do it in Michigan.
Because if you want enchanted fucking forests, Michigan's got it covered, dude. I mean,
you could so much more, man.
Well, I mean, but it begs the question: how much special effects can help you? I mean,
they can't do the costumes, and that's where it just sinks in.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Because none of this,
I can't argue that.
It's going to go. You could wear this in a sci-fi movie.
Right. Logan's Run.
This outfit
would kind of work.
That's how you dress in Alien. Basically, they're just truckers, right?
Alien truckers.
You cannot have truckers in a fantasy film.
It won't work. They're not going to have T-shirts.
So you have to have, and we were talking about it off camera, but how much better Amas English actors are than American actors. You got to have a shitload of English actors.
Almost absurdly sorry. Yeah, you need all English actors.
And so, I don't live in England.
You might as well shoot in England.
Right, so you might as well shoot in England, and already you're past my capacity to do it.
Right. Sorry.
You got to have the actors because they got to say all this ridiculous shit and believe in dragons and
you really got to buy it, at least partially buy that.
And you got to have the swords, and you got to have the leather.
You got to have people that can handle them because
jerkins.
You have
to have training with it. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, all of it is money out the ass.
Yeah.
Even a relatively low budget film like Conan.
And if you were going to kick dough into that, dude,
you're going to have the original Conan, what would that cost now to make it? 30,
oh my god! Well, look at the Jason Momoa one, dude. I mean, that had to cost $20 million.
See, that's part of why there is no fantasy right now. It's that
movie. It was not very good.
Oh, it was terrible.
And as much as I think Momoa's pretty good,
it's not his fault.
No, it's just. Yeah, it wasn't written by John Milius.
Well, the other thing is this, especially when that film came out. So you did this instead of King Conan with Arnold?
Yeah, you Yeah.
Even now, come on, man.
I'd still do King Conan.
Yeah, I would still do King Conan. You just have to have his son be some other.
Dude, he's got a beard. He's King Conan. He's featured in the original with that beard at the very end.
They've blown, man.
Oh, that's a
So
shame.
I love. Would you watch a lower budget fantasy movie? Because back in the
honestly,
day,
kind of, yeah. Because I just started. I just started watching that thing I showed you the other day, that Goblin Slayer from Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
just because
it's fun, dude. I mean, there's an anime purists who fucking hate it, and I don't care. But fucking, I watch it.
You want to get us demonetized,
dude? It's just D&D. I mean, all they do is fucking. How many spells can you cast? Like, I've got 3 left. I mean, it's like that. You know what I mean? It's straight D&D, but it's so much fun. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna watch.
If you're an all kind of a D&D or Magic player, I mean, this is the time of year when it seems. Like when the weather gets crappy, but you can still go outside a little. Right. You know, like the springtime is good now. It's good. Sometimes during the blizzard, it's good. It's a good time for fantasy films. Like we always watch Lord of the Rings.
I gotta tell you,
from now till Christmas. Right?
I gotta tell you, I missed one, man. Sure did. That they tried to do a big budget World of Warcraft. Just wasn't very good.
Well, A, it was terrible, and B, it was a flop here. It was a big hit overseas.
Flop. I'm sure it made overseas. Over here, I'm saying it just fucking.
Well, I think it made $250 million plus overseas, maybe more.
But I said not here though. Here it came and went because it's not a very good film, and it could have been, but they just didn't know how to do it. And there's an art to that. I mean, really getting people into the story, and
that's why Peter Jackson is still one of the world's greatest directors, because he could always crap out another Tolkien movie.
He did fucking Lord of the Rings, that series.
Yeah, the end. You win.
Yeah, and that's like doing a smoking good version of Dune, dude. It's like,
no, it's true that he is a Middle Earther and lives in Middle Earth and had the Middle Earth cast.
New Zealand is weirdly Middle Earth, isn't it?
Oh no, it is Middle Earth.
It's Middle
the
Earth.
people are Middle Earthian. I mean, all
Hollow Earth is real, and they live on the ground. New Zealanders are in fact hobbits. That was not a fact.
Peter Jackson is a goddamn hobbit.
Dude. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah, that sucks too. Because I think I would be inclined. Now, a Robin Hood movie's coming out, which is, I know, not quite the same.
Yeah,
because I'm kind of interested.
You could make a fantasy out of it.
Like, we're old enough that we remember the Kevin. Dancing with Wolves.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Kevin Costner's version of that. That was a big movie.
It was a big movie.
Like every couple of generations, it's not every 10 years, but about every 20 or 30, there will be a big ass Robin Hood movie. So it could be this year.
He did Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I always
with Morgan Freeman's in that.
So I always root for a Robin Hood movie because it's a cool story. Robin from the rich to give the poor. Hey, that's a cool story, and with arrows and everything. But also, if a movie like that does well, then maybe we'll get some more fantasy films.
That'd be cool.
No, honestly.
I really wish they wouldn't video game it up.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a mistake. I know that they're
Assassin's Creed is the example of that, man.
Because look,
nobody cares. Yeah.
Look, okay, I know video games are popular.
To popular
because they're video games.
Yeah, right. You can play
don't make the movie like that. No, you don't have to do that.
You want big, long, static shots where it's just like 3 hits and then someone falls over dead.
Right. You don't want them to feel like they could ever have any control over it.
George Lucas did have a sense for that. Even in the end of those prequels, there still has more of a sense of that than Peter Jackson, obviously, of scale. Like, it's not a video game. And
no, it's a movie. You're supposed to be bringing people into the experience.
Right.
Video game style doesn't do that.
That's why movies like Doom always fail. Like,
where it could have been if that could have been kick ass if they just done the story and not worry much about making it the video game.
Right, and there's even a part where it goes into the first person,
which is just
hardcore Henry style.
What are you doing?
So but anyway, what would be your favorite fantasy film? Big budget.
Ooh, wow.
I'd almost say take Lord of the Rings out because it is so good. It is the best of all. It's one of the best movies ever made.
It's the best
Fellowship of the Rings is the most. It's amazing.
Of its kind. Yeah, I mean, Fellowship of the Ring, I agree with you on that one.
Really, it's only Excalibur that could.
That really gets that.
That's
so
epic level.
Correct. But
it's the only other movie that I would, as much as I love all other movies that.
We're back into the Conan.
Yeah, it's better than Conan.
Argument. Yeah,
but it's also better than Excalibur. Like,
You just a smidge.
Invaders!
Entrez-vous!
Oh, God! Fuck your show!
Really happening?
All right, Jeremy.
No, I love your show!
Come and say goodbye to everybody. All right, that's our cue, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching.
And
Good cheesy
like
fantasy
do
films,
stuff,
and
things.
go check out Reanimate
Fantasy
and our other stuff because that's too late. Well, okay. What's your favorite low-budget fantasy film, Jeremy?
Sword and Sorcerer.
Very good. Yeah, that's pretty much the subject of the show.
All right, like, subscribe, share, and talent. I can't ever remember words to songs.
I'm weird. I just fucking remember that shit.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can paraphrase movie quotes, but no, I'll get it wrong. I like even "May the Force be with some you."
May you be with the Force, sir.
You'll be with the Force.
What?
Well, I just quoted the movie exactly, asshole. He's with the Force.
The words are there. You guys do what you need to.
Plateau. Necktie. Necktie.
Say it correctly? Yeah.
I said the words.
Fucking, I love that guy. Bruce Campbell. Oh no, if you just give that to me, I'll shoot him.
Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.